Hey, welcome back to Ogre Speed Shop. We're in the middle of nowhere in an oil field. What we're going to do here is we're going to take this old General Motors engine here with a big old root style supercharger on it and drop it into this and try to drive it home. All right, yeah, I'm kidding about that. That'd be almost impossible to do, but we are going to take this right here, even with the wasp flying around it. See if we can get it running and driving and drive it home about 50 miles to my house. So let's go ahead and get into it. We'll do a little walk around for it and see what we got. So what do we have here? I'm not even sure what year it is. It's between 69 and 72. It's a C30 dually with a pole bed on it and a winch. So I'm not sure if it's PTO driven, but we'll get into that. I think I do see a PTO lever in there. So we'll get into it, get an idea what the year is here in a second. We're gonna try to get it running and driving so we can drive it home. And worst case scenario, we will tow it home. Well, first thing I noticed is that driver's window is shattered out of it, which isn't a big deal. I do have replacements for it, so it's not too big of a hassle. Let's get an idea, see if we can figure out what year this is. And I'll let you know when I come back. Take a look at the VIN tag, and it is a 1969. So C30, it's a 1-ton. The awesome bed on the back of it right there. My plan for it is I'm gonna turn it into the ultimate tow rig for me, and we'll get more into that once we get it home and start breaking her down a little bit. So just got a real quick walk around. You can see how it's got this nice big grill in the front. And I definitely want to keep that. So my buddy, who I'll get into more, is planning on getting the cab off of this. Sorry, bud, but that's mine. But anyways, so like I said, we got a nice garden spider here. She was here the last time I came here. I have been here to look at this before. I didn't get too much into it. Like I said, I didn't look to see what year it was. It's listed on Facebook Marketplace as a 1-ton truck, and that's it, pull truck. So as you see, we got this big old pole thing back here, little cranes like type of thing, and a PTO driven winch by the looks of it. So got some storage containers, this big old metal bed, and I think I got a really steal of a deal on it, and I'll talk about that later maybe. But I don't know if the tank comes with it, but that'd make one heck of a fuel tank, wouldn't it? Probably wouldn't hold too much fluid, but so yeah, and it was registered, last registered in 2002. And the history I've got on it, and this is the only history he had on it, was it was driven here and parked. So this is where it's been, but like I said, it was driven here. So I think the next thing we need to do is open up the hood and see what we got for an engine. I'm already hearing wasps and flying insects around this thing, so I didn't bring any brake clean. I can't believe I didn't bring any brake clean. But I'm gonna set you guys up on a tripod and open this hood up, and hopefully I don't get stung. Okay, so present a wasp right there on the hitch of the latch. That popped right open. Ooh, look what we got here. We got nests. Awesome. Let me bring you in here so you can see it. All right, so what do we have? We have, well, I don't know if we're gonna be able to drive it home or not. We are missing a radiator. I was wondering about that because I found this on the ground, which is the mount for the radiator. Have to see if the other one's around here someplace. Hopefully we can find it. But yeah, somebody took the radiator out of it. So other than that, it looks pretty complete with nests and everything. And it is a manual. I don't know if it's 4 or 3 speed, but it is a inline 6, which shouldn't be too hard to get running, especially since we got an HEI distributor here. Not a whole lot of spark plug wires, but I brought some, so we should be good to go because I knew that. So I guess the first thing we need to do is see if it's even will turn over. So let me grab that fan blade and see if it'll rotate. So yeah, we got a lot of critters that we're living in here because there's some big old poop in here everywhere. But the frame looks real solid. I don't see any damaging rust. There's definitely surface rust, but that's pretty much guaranteed on these. I don't know where that one wasp went that flew in here. I'm sure he's around someplace. He's going to get me later. But let's see if she rotates. Oh yeah. Let's get this Wiring out of the way. It's obviously going to need redone. Goes out of the way. Yeah, there's still coolant in the motor. Oh, I feel compression too. Okay, she's rotating, but the fan isn't, the belt isn't holding on. So it's not getting stuck. It's just the compression's holding it back. So after I clean out the starter, I might have to give it a little bump and see. But I think we're going to clean all this stuff out here first. Check underneath the air cleaner here, see what we got. If we can get it off, because that looks pretty rusted out. But let's get some of this nesting out of here first. Upside some animals here. Well, as you would expect, the battery box is rusted out. What is it with field mice and stuff using stickers, things with thorns to make nests? There's mud daubers too. Hey Brian, you got to rewire this thing when you get it. The choke is freed up. The throttle's a little stuck. That could be anywhere here. Is that an oil bath? Air cleaner? Don't know. I got an idea. Let's see if I can get my leaf blower working. Try to clean this thing out a little bit. It was kind of working yesterday. That should be a little bit better. I get some PV Blaster, spray everything down, especially these linkages. That's probably all we need to worry about right now. How's the clutch works? A little scary part, trying to reach it here. Hey, the clutch is pushing. Don't know if it's doing anything, but it's not locked up. So that's good. That looks almost like it's broken. It's just a single barrel carburetor, so I think it's just the linkages are locked up. So you may have to just disconnect those for now. Ooh. So that is an actual oil bath air cleaner, and there wasn't any nesting on the inside of that, at least. So yeah, it looks dirty. I get some cleaner down inside there. So we're jamming the pedal on the inside? Not really. Choke is disconnected. All right, so I mean, it seems to be free enough to where I can make it work if it have to. Spark plugs. Let's go ahead and pull those. Maybe. That one is really bugging me. It's exactly where I'm standing. These spark plug wires are completely chewed up. Kind of wish I would have made it out here a little bit earlier. It was nice and cool this morning, like 56. It's been our coolest day ever, or since, you know, last year. I didn't bring anything to clean with. Which kind of spark plugs are they? Big or little? They are big. So I'm going to pull the spark plugs when I come back. When I get those out, I'll be back. I'll let you know if there's anything that pop up that are bad. Got two of the spark plugs out and they look good. Nothing to be worried about on that. The only thing I'm worried about is the amount of junk there is built up around these spark plugs. So I'm going to scrape them all out first, try to clean them up as much as I can before I take the rest of them out. They did come out very easily. They were kind of loose almost. All right, so far it's pretty good news. None of these spark plug wires are rusty or anything. A couple of them had some dirt, but that's I think from pulling them out because all the grime that was around them. Try to scrape it out, but it's kind of hard to in there. So I'm gonna spray on the cylinders with some WD-40, or I'm sorry, PB Blaster, just to make sure they're lubricated, and then we'll try cranking her over again by hand. All right, we got some PB Blaster down in all the cylinders, so it's not bone dry. It's already spinning, so let's see if we can get to spin more. Here's a tight spot there. Before I go any further, let me check the oil real quick. It's down a little bit, but it's black as the oil that comes out of the ground by the looks of it, so should be able to find some oil around here maybe, right? All right, I got my battery pack hooked up to it just to see if I can jumper it across and maybe get it to crank. I'm probably gonna get splattered in the face doing this. Nope, nothing. Let me try an actual battery. This jump pack has never been very good. All right, let's see if we can get her to crank. Got the battery in here now. I get sprayed in the face, aren't I? To at least kind of stop the spray. Well, she cranks. Heck, let's get the spark plugs back in it. Now, put the spark plugs back in it, put some wires on it, and see what will happen. Never know. And luckily it's out of gear. It was in gear, but I checked it right before I decided to crank it. Cool. Disconnect that. Let's try to do this without getting too much dirt down inside there. Back into the same hole you came out of. I'll be back once these are all in. All right, I got the spark plugs back in it. I don't have the wires on yet. I just want to see how she cranks with the with her closed up. Pretty good. So the firing order is 15, 36, 24. I know Morsky has some kind of little acronym thing he goes off of, but I don't know what it is. But that's what I looked up and that's what I found. And I got set the top dead center number 1 right now. It ended up being this plug over here, which is actually not right. That's 180 out from what the diagrams I found are. One's supposed to be up front here, I think. I have to look at it again, but either way, we know where number 1's at, and that's all you need to know. Got the spark plug wires off the S10. One of them's got some chew marks on it, but god dang. The bugs all of a sudden got bad. The sun comes out and the bugs get bad. I think those ones are the worst ones. The horsefly, dragonfly, or horsefly and deerfly. Yeah, those are never fun. Okay, let's go with the shortest one possible for number 1. Ooh, is it rotate? Let me see rotation. I'm gonna shut you down for a minute. All right, according to what I found, it is clockwise. 5 and 5. This stuff is a little corroded, but we'll see. Am I recording? We'll see if it sparks at all. I forgot to bring my trigger, so I'll be right down in there if it actually does kick off. Well, I do have the switch thing here, so we'll see if we can make it work. I thought I was pretty prepared for this, but you don't realize it until you get here how unprepared you actually are. Ouch! That didn't feel good. So we're going old school. Got time together. I didn't bring my meter or nothing, man. I'm just like totally unprepared for any of this. Let's see if we still crank. See what happens. Oh, it's getting hot. At this point, I've been working on it for probably 30 minutes, 45 minutes. And then I broke the battery terminal, so I had to replace that. So we're going to jump ahead here till we start cranking again. All right, we got some gas down in there now. I cleaned the contacts on the distributor. Let's see what we get now. Sounded to me like it was barking off a little bit there. Oops. Definitely trying. 2-stroke oil, gas. It's at this point that I realized that what I was doing with the throttle wasn't actually opening and closing the butterflies at all. So get in there and I gotta break it loose. Carburetors. Butterflies are stuck shut. Well, why are you in my way then? I need your light, so. I got the throttle unstuck now. Maybe that'll help. I should really get air in it. That's closed. So I've been going at it for 10-15 minutes here, trying to cranking. It would kind of kick, but then just kind of, I was about ready to give up on it. Battery cable. It's a little warm. Alright. It's wanting to. I don't know if you could hear it on the film, on the good video or not, but it's kicking over a couple times. Well, let's see how much damage you can do trying to pull it out of the hole at least. So I can work up on higher ground. Tires. Yep, that ain't gonna work. I'll take some air in those tires. It's worth a try. Which if I had a yankum rope I could do it. Or air in the tires probably would help too. Let's try this again. Try to get it running. So I tried swapping spark plug positions here, thinking maybe it was advanced too much or retarded too much. And ended up back to the original spot where they were at to start with. So that didn't do anything, it made it worse. Close. Real close. See if adding the jump box will help any. Middle here, it wants to be. All right, we got some dead holes there for sure. And about to kill this battery. Leaning over this thing's a pain in the butt, so I need to come better prepared next time. Should probably be tomorrow. I think for now we're gonna call it because we can't do much. It's not. I really want to try it some more. It's so damn close. We could just get some in the bowl, but that's not easy to do. Maybe.
This is where I remembered that I brought a squirt bottle that my wife had given me, something she uses to dye her hair with. So I'm going to try that out.
There, get some in the bowl. Still recording? Yep. A lot of vacuum leaks right now too, but you hear that? It's fucking running. She ran! Juice. But she ran. Ouch. Everything's hot. Oop. And she's pouring at the bottom. So yeah, the carburetor obviously needs rebuilt.
Just like a miracle from the car gods, all of a sudden, this happens.
Look at that. Whew. All right, well, I got to figure out a fuel system for it. It's obviously that throttle on there is not very good, but she just ran. Whew. Yeah. Oh boy, that was pretty cool. We got it to run. Oh wow. All right, so we know it'll run. Everything's working on it. Let me get this battery charger off here. All right, now I gotta come back with some vacuum caps, maybe a different carburetor. I don't know, but I think it's the first good first day. All right, we're into day 2 of trying to get this 1969 Chevy C30 out of this hole, and we got it running yesterday. You know, and we need to do a fuel system, but first things first. First, we want to see if the tires will hold wind or not. I brought a shovel and a rake to hopefully clean this out a little bit better, because there's a lot of rat feces in here. So that's going to be the plan today. Let's see if we can get these tires pumped up I don't even see the, well, I'm glad I brought a shovel because I don't even see the, what's it called? Valve stem. So that's going to be fun. But anyways, I bought a tire inflator from Harbor Freight, the Bauer version. And I hated doing it, so I hope it works because I don't like doing, you know, multiple platforms. I wanted to get a Hercules, but they don't have a Hercules one yet. So we're going to try this out, see if it works. All right, found the valve stem. It's actually right there, so we can get to it. Get this thing on there and see what we can do. See if it'll pump up. It's supposed to be good to up to 160 foot or 160 psi. So let's bring her up to, these are probably 14 ply, but we'll just do 80 for now. That's 8, isn't it? Well, that's not pisses. KPA, PSIs. Let's bring her down to 80. Start with that, see if it'll hold. All right, and supposedly supposed to inflate any tire within 2 minutes, so we'll see. So while that's inflating, we're gonna have to relocate this little girl here. She got a scorpion. Oh no, it's a dragonfly by the looks of it. So we need to get into this door. Looks like it's unlocked, so it should open, but we need to move her. This will be the first time opening this door. I just moved her over there to that framing right there. Hinge is a little sticky, which could be expected considering that pile of crap in there. That's a whole lot of stuff. But at least got a window on this side. I'm not sure what happened over there, but don't worry, Brian. I got a replacement for you. So I figure the best thing for this is just a shovel. And I brought a rake too, just in case. So I'm gonna start shoveling. So I don't know if it's gonna be possible or not. I'm gonna try to get the seat out because I don't want to drive home with any of this stuff flying around. I mean, there's gonna be some, but yeah, it's pretty nasty. Get rid of some of these weeds here too while I'm at it. But anyways, the tire's taking air, so pretty good for one of them anyways. Now, how bad do you think these brakes are locked up? That's gonna be the fun part. So, it's gonna take a lot longer than 2 minutes, so I definitely got a little misadvertisement there. And we got 5 more to go. I decided to stop at 50 because check out that tire down there. It's missing some pieces. I don't hear any hissing though, so it seems to be holding air. So let's start on one of the back ones back here. All right, we got the seat out. And as I expected, probably gonna need some floor pans, rockers, inner rockers. Let me see the other side. We got the tires staying up though, so hopefully we can get this thing moved out of its hole. Not on its own, of course, but I'm gonna drag it up out of there, hopefully. Better than what I tried, better than my attempt yesterday. Yeah, this side looks a little better. So we'll see once we get everything out of there. Well, let's see if some wind in the tires will let it move. Well, the brake's going to be so locked up, it just won't go anywhere. Guess we'll find out.
this point, the steering wheel kept turning, so I'm trying to figure out a way of keeping it locked. This is where I use the old school towing trick and use the seat belt to lock the steering wheel in the direction I wanted to turn.
Well, it kind of looks like we might have broke it free. Had to use a seatbelt to stop it from steering, but it worked. Old tow truck trick. But all the wheels seem to be rolling now, so maybe we broke all the brakes loose, which would be nice. Well, there's the hole she came up out of. Definitely something nesting under it. Whatever that might be, rabbit, armadillo, who knows. But the back wasn't actually buried that bad. I think the worst one was this front tire. But once the brakes broke loose, man, it came right up out. No problem. It's rolling pretty good now. So I'm pretty happy about that. Got it in an area where it's easy to load up if I have to, which it probably will because those tires are not very nice. But heck, we got her out, so let's take a little tour around this area here. See what else is, I think most of the stuff is for sale. So let's go check out some of these trucks. Really cool. What is that, a Fleet Star 2010? Never really heard of that, so. But looks like it's a, I don't know, is that a diesel or is that a big block or what the heck is that thing? It's got a throttle body or a carburetor. Yeah, it's got a carburetor by the looks of it. So I have no idea what this would be. So let me know down in the comments what some of these engines are. And my little intro, you know, teasing about this engine up here, the General Motors engine. I do believe this one is a diesel though. But yeah, you can see the filters and everything. So that's a pretty big sized Roots blower on there. I don't know how they rate these things. Let me know down in the comments. So this is pretty cool. This is some kind of a crane by the looks of it. But really neat stuff out here. Old stuff. I like this kind of old stuff. Whoa. As I try to, you know, kill myself and fall. So that's that. And we got a couple, we got a C60 and a C65 over here. I know the cabs are for sale. There's another, this is a bigger pole truck than what mine is. And no idea what engine is in it. It almost looks like it's the same engine that's on the 69 over there. Well, it's got the same nesting. Yeah, it is. It's an inline 6. Cool. And this one over here is actually a big block of some sort. The C65. Got a Holley carburetor under it. But I may be seeing about getting this engine too. He wants the guy I bought this from, he's doing something with the bed on this. So he's gonna be cutting that bed off that frame and pretty much getting rid of everything else. So those are the things that are available. This heavy C60 and C65 over here. Like I said, the bed is gone. He's taking that. He's using that. There's a couple generators and stuff around here too. I don't know if there's anything in this trailer right here. But I don't think that tank is much good anymore. It's nice and rusted out. But yeah, pretty cool little area here. It's just an old oil field or oil well. Still in use. Whatever company he works for, they bought the rights to it, so that's what they got here. Pretty cool little tank trailer. Just smells of oil here. It's really cool. It's actually a cool smell. It doesn't smell dirty or nothing. It smells really good. And you know, no trespassing. Stay out. And this is some kind of a driller, a well driller, a drilling machine of some sort. Pretty cool. I like all this old stuff. Whole bunch of the pumps over here. Now there's a name for them, but I can't remember what it is. See, that one's electric. Probably all are electric, huh? Got a bunch of them here. Bunch of piping. There's a little John Deere back there, a little loader. I'm gonna talk to you about that too. Could use a little loader on the at the house. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Got her out. She looks a lot better when she's on up out of the ground. Be curious to see how long those tires stay inflated. Set them auto about 50 psi. It's kind of cool. They just used the original tank on it. I don't see any auxiliary tanks. A lot of times they put them underneath the frame here, but looks like they're just using that one. And of course, it's an Oklahoma truck, so just like all the rest of them I bought, it's got a rifle rack in the back. Pretty funny. So I brought a radiator. It's the one off the S10. And we'll see if it fits in here or not. I think I'm going to take this plate off first because it's kind of just in the way. Trying to get anything down inside there. We're going to do that real quick just to see if it fits. It fits almost perfect. A little off, but maybe good enough to run her home, man. Could the S10's hoses be any smaller? Jeez, you can make that work, but we have to reduce the freaking hose sizes a little bit. These hoses would never make it all the way home. Well, we know it'll fit. If we can just make it work, I don't know. It'd be kind of tough without spending a whole lot of money. All right, everybody, we are back for day 3 on the 1969 Chevy C30 1-ton truck. So today, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get it wired up so we can actually fire it up from the inside. See if we can get a cooling system going on it. And it looks like the tires held up overnight, which is good. And we got spider webs already. Look at that. We got a full-on freaking spider web right there. I don't know if you can see it or not, but they didn't take long at all overnight, did they? So yeah, we're gonna see if we can get this thing actually driving. And I did bring the trailer just in case, you know, maybe I don't know, the tires are pretty bad, so we may be trailing it home, but I want to drive it or at least around the lot here if I can. So what we're doing today, we're gonna do some wiring, some cooling systems, and see if we can get this thing to where we can actually drive it around. So it shouldn't take much, I don't think. I mean, it's a manual, so, and we broke the brakes loose yesterday. The only thing I got to do is measure the width of this thing, because I might have to take a tire off on each side to make it fit. But that's what we're doing today. Let's get this thing going. Hopefully the red ants aren't out and about yet, because there was a ton of them out here yesterday. Let's get to it. All right, so first things first, the ignition switch works in all positions. Been cleaning the key out a little bit, but so that's good on that. So if we get power to it, then we should be able to make that work, but we'll see. Just real quick, I just want to make sure we still have cranking power here. So I got the battery hooked up. Just gonna jumper the wires and see what happens. Oh yeah. So should be good on that. Now we just gotta get ignition hot to it, and then we'll see what we can do about a cooling system. I brought the radiator, and I brought some hoses and a thermostat housing that is smaller to make it work with the S10 radiator. So we'll see. So we're definitely getting some kind of power in here because the gas gauge started moving. But we don't have crank power yet. I gotta quit pulling this key out because it's hard to get back in. So yeah, gotta play around with that a little bit. Just have to look at the light here, see if it turns on when I hit the crank. I really doubt it is, but. All right, so after looking at the video, it does have power going to it. Should be cranking, so why isn't it cranking? Interesting. All right, so I'm taking a measurement of the bed back here, and it measures about 84 3/8-ish. And the tires stick in 1.5 inches on each side. So that means I can take 3 inches off of that total width. So that takes me down to, so if I take 3 inches off of that, so that's 1, 2, 3. So that's 81 1/4. So that means, stupid thing getting caught on everything. That means since my trailer width here is exactly 83, 81 1/2 will fit. So those wheels will fit in between these fenders. I was worried I had to take the wheels off. I even bought the jack and everything to be sure, but don't have to worry about it. It looks like it dragged. It might have locked back up again, but we'll find out when we go to move it again. Anyways, back to wiring. It seems to be that this wire right here, they have running into the dash, goes and attaches directly to the dash, so ground, which is weird. Still can't get power to come out of it though, so I don't know if I'm gonna run a new wire. Maybe I'll pull that switch out and see. Well, that's kind of hard to do with the, I can pull the harness out of the back maybe. But it's really disgusting up inside there, so I don't know, we'll see. All right, so it's not a ground. It's a toggle switch I just found underneath the dash here. So if we can pull that on, see if we get power that way. So we put power to that now. Well, that switch wasn't doing a whole lot. We got her out, got the wire separated now. Try to figure out how to get this thing going. I put a tarp down inside here too, so it's easier to work and lay down in. So, got power in, power out. I think that might have been ignition. So let me see if I can get this ignition plug out up under here. See if we can figure out why it's wired like that. All right, so I pulled the switch out. I connected this wire to the battery underneath, and now, if I could do this with one hand. It likes to lock up because the battery connection is kind of sucky. But it does crank. Right now, it's definitely not liking the battery connection, but listen. So she's cranking right there. So we can put a push button on that. We gotta see if we got ignition power. Well, I know we don't have ignition power because it's cut off at the wire inside there, but we could probably use one of these wires that's sticking out there that was going to that toggle switch and turn the power onto that way. All right, so I brought this little switch I have that I made with the shop I used to work at and plugged that in, and now you can crank with that. So starter the starter circuit will work just like that. So we're good on that. Now you gotta get electronics out to it. And in order to do that, we need to run a wire to this. So and a switch. And I have one of those too, so we'll see what we can do to do that. But first we need to figure out which one of these wires we want to use. Probably the one that's not connected to anything. So this is connected to power for that switch that was in there, and this was coming out. So I think we're going to hook this to the ignition and see if that'll give us a spark. All right, so I wired this into a switch. So now I got it both coming off the main power. And so yeah, let's try putting some fuel in it, see if it'll crank this way or start or anything. What the heck. All right, so I'm just gonna fill the bowl here. That's what made it start last time, so we're gonna go with that. Probably start pouring out the bottom here in a minute. There it goes, so you start leaking out the bottom. Put power to it and see what happens. Ignition on and crank. Alright, I don't know if we're getting spark or not. All right, well, she'll run, but gotta figure out a fuel system. I can't tell what all that knocking is. Hopefully it's not like maybe it's the PTO's engaged. I don't know. Shouldn't be, because it's not. If I were to guess, I'd say that's probably the PTO engaged like that. And not. I don't know. But she fired up. Needs a lot of throttle. So yeah, this throttle is really bad. And I can't tell if I have oil pressure. I hear some knocking, but it's something that's coming from under the truck. So I don't know if it's something to do with the clutch or whatever. But I wonder if the clutch actually works. I can't control the throttle though. Not with my foot. I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to call it and just load her up and take her home and work on her there, because that is not working too well. A lot has to do with this throttle being like stuck. I think that's closed, and let's see. Yeah, that should be open. You see how wonky that thing is. So I don't know. Can I tighten it? It does tighten. Not quite as wonky. I'm gonna make that spring I had work. Pull it from here over to here. It's not gonna be too much. Maybe not. See if we can tighten it down a little bit more even. Doesn't seem like it, so that might be what we got. Let's try that. I forgot my stands at home, so see if we can set something up here. I think it's gonna move. In fact, I already made it move, but I want to show everybody else how it moves. From further away would be better. Set you up on the fender over here. Use all the sauce. All right, give me a minute. All right, go give it a little more sauce here. running good enough, I think. I think we're just gonna load her up, take her home, and work on her there. The tires for sure are the main reason I'm not gonna go any further with it. Because if you look, chunks missing out of it, and they're bad. So I think we're better off just letting her go and taking her home and, you know, working on her there. And I don't know what that clunking is underneath there, but you know, considering there's nests and everything, I'm sure that bell housing's full of crap. So I think we're better off just doing it at home. So let's get her loaded up and take her home. Well, one thing's for sure, I'm gonna be going super slow. So I think I'm maxing out the trailer just a bit. So yeah, I figured a 7,000 pound trailer would be enough, but I don't think it is. Let's hope the tires hold up. Made her home. I think right here is gonna be a good spot for her. So she does run, you know, we're gonna work on getting her to drive as well. So I think she'll make a nice addition to the rest of the fleet here. So this I got plans for, and we'll get into that more later on. Well, there she is in her temporary space. Kind of want her away from the truck, from the house, because I don't know what's in it still. I'm sure there's probably some more nests. I see some stuff up underneath there still. From the bed back is pretty clear, but there's some stuff up underneath the PTO and everything. So I don't want anything crawling out from underneath there and crawling into there. So we're gonna keep her out here for now and still work on her. There's plenty of space here to work on her. And I do want to get her running and driving. I want to find out what that knocking was. Hopefully it's not the bottom end. But I don't have an oil gauge on it, and I can't figure out where they even put an oil gauge at for an idiot light. So, yeah. We got a broken window here, so I got to get that out of there so I don't cut myself on it. But other than that, she's home. And I'll get more into what the plans are for it later on. Pretty cool truck though. Wish I could lift some engines out with that. Get that PTO going. Well, there you have it. Comparison of two different trucks. I really thought this truck had a longer wheelbase, because for whatever reason this looks shorter. But that's a, what was it? 127 inch wheelbase. This one's 134. So this is actually a bigger frame than this. Nice little comparison with the two trucks I got. Pretty cool. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, especially subscribe and turn on those notifications, because I got a collaboration coming that involves this. It also involves this guy right here and my other GMC cab and front clip. So make sure you, like I said, like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications, so you don't miss the upcoming collaboration with Recycled Racing. That's gonna do it for this video on rescuing that 1969 Chevy C30 out of a hole that's been sitting in for about 20 years, maybe more. So, like I said, like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, and until next time, I will see y'all later.